Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another video. Now, normally each season I do two lists. So I was supposed to do a winter niche fragrances list in 2020, but 2020 has gone. So I thought, okay, let me pick some really solid niche fragrances for winter, and let's do a winter niche list without putting a year number to it, because I might end up doing another one at the end of this year. So let's start. So winter is a great time for niche fragrances, especially if you live in a super cold country, because you can wear these leather fragrances, the oud fragrances, they really shine. But if it's too cold, sometimes you might find that they just don't work, because they've been designed in a way where it needs a little bit of body heat, especially ouds. So I've got a balanced list here of fragrances that work in very cold countries and of fragrances that work beautifully in not so cold countries, because I've got a lot of viewers from the Middle East, from India, from the Southeast Asia, where the temperature is not that cold. Obviously in India, north of India, it's really cold as well. But I've made sure that this is an inclusive list. So let's start. I'm going to start my list with fragrances that actually are bright in nature, because sometimes you'll get bored of wearing sweet tobacco or sweet woody fragrances and you want something bright and something uplifting. So I'll start my list with a few uplifting fragrances, and then I'll go into the traditional winter fragrances and notes, and I'll detail you about them. So let's start with Acqua di Parma. Now Acqua di Parma basically is an Italian house, so it makes fragrances in the Italian style. So there's a lot of freshness, fizziness around it. Now this fragrance that I'm going to show you is basically a fragrance which surprised me, because it's marketed for summer, but it smells better in extreme cold weather. It is Colonia Essenza. The whole Acqua di Colonia line is fabulous, any of them. But this one was not my favorite until recently, when I trialed it in autumn, late autumn. It was already about single digit numbers. Now at the moment it's below freezing. By God, this is amazing. You know, I've tried and sampled it in summer. I didn't like it. And when you don't like a fragrance for the first time, it creates an impression in your head. I had an image about this fragrance. It's changed. So what is this all about? This is about neroli, a very soapy neroli. But this neroli is joined with a very resinous, thick, ambery layer. So there's warmth, soapy, ambery neroli. Beautiful. And I must tell you, if you have this fragrance, try it. It's very hard to get hold of it nowadays. If you ever get hold of this fragrance, try it, because it smells amazing in winter, especially when it's normal life. You want to wear something to office, but you don't want to smell like a summer fragrance, and yet it has a feel of a winter fragrance because of this resinous amber. This fragrance is very resinous, and that's why I have no hesitation in recommending this to you in winter time. If you go to Fragrantica, there are no votes for this fragrance to be worn in winter. Trust me, try it. It's beautiful. It works for me. I'm pretty sure it'll work for you. So that was number one. There are 12 fragrances in this list, not 10. So let's start. Number two on my list is an iris fragrance. Again, iris is a note which works beautifully when there's warmth. But iris also has a character, and that character is of radiance. You know, iris fragrances have a radiant character. The next fragrance I'm going to show you is not only radiant, it's boozy. It's got a note of whiskey. So I really like this fragrance. This one is called Skin on Skin by LArtisan Parfumeur. This is one of the sexiest fragrances in my collection. It has a note of lipsticky iris, and then it becomes a little bit chalky and woody. And I really like chalky and woody iris in winter. And it has a very profound note of whiskey. I'm not a drinker, but I identify the notes because in my drinking days I used to hate whiskey, but I could smell whiskey. And this has got a solid note of whiskey. It's beautiful, it's radiant, it's very sexy. Full review. I haven't done the full review of most of these fragrances I'm going to show you. So I'll do a full review soon. And in winter, when it's really cold, but it's sunny, let's say it's snowing outside and it's sunny, and you want something bright and radiant, that's when I'll bring this out. It's beautiful. Next on my list is a fragrance I have recently reviewed. In fact, my last review was this fragrance. It is a charismatic My Perfumes Select, which is their niche line, and the fragrance is called Powdery. This fragrance is a fragrance that I can't get enough of. This fragrance is amazing. It's, oh, this is just a beautiful, rich, soapy, rich, radiant fragrance. It's got rose, tonka bean, it's got a soapy vetiver, and along with that, it's got sandalwood, and most importantly, a warm, powdery vanilla. Very sexy. I just adore this fragrance. This fragrance has really, really, really stolen my heart. And when I did my review, it was pretty obvious that I'm completely smitten by this fragrance because it's so lovely, it's so sexy, it's rich, radiant, and yet it doesn't cow you down. But again, if it's very cold, don't wear this because it doesn't shine as much as when it shines when it's a little bit in between. Yeah. So late winter is when I would wear this preferably. Extrait, so performs beautifully. It's just amazing, man. If you can get hold of this, very difficult, but you can get it directly from the UAE. This house has just surprised me. It's amazing. Next on my fragrance is another very rare fragrance. It's from a house which is very popular. It's an Hermes, but this fragrance is very difficult to get hold of. Full review coming soon. And it's again a bright fragrance. It's called Parfums de Merveilles. Now, Merveille line is very famous because they came up with Eau de Merveille in 2004. And they've got many flavors, many flankers to it. This one is by far the most amazing fragrance I've smelled. You know, this is a Jean-Claude Ellena. And as you guys know, I have a special place for Jean-Claude Ellena. But I think he's moving up the rankings, if you like. I've sampled some good work from him. So yeah, Parfum de Merveille. This is about a bright, savory amber. Amber is perfect choice for cold weather. This one is bright, resinous, slightly foody, and yet very green. It's a remarkable fragrance. I'll do a full review very soon, but just to give you an idea, this smells like an oriental fougere with specific gourmand elements. Yeah, I love it. This one smells like orange marmalade with amber, with some green oak moss type of note. So it's green, airy. It's an extrait. So it's just, you know, lush. Absolutely amazing. I'll do a full review very, very soon. So next on my list is a fragrance that is a tobacco fragrance. I've reviewed that one, and it's from a house called Nishane. Nishane also makes amazing fragrances. Most of them are amazing. This is an extrait, and this one is rum and tobacco. This is like going to a party, exactly like Powdery. You know, you want to go out and enjoy yourself. It's a very cold night. You're wearing a leather jacket, and you want something to complement your bubbly personality. You're wearing this. This is tobacco coupled with rum and tonka and coconut. I've done a full review. This is a sexy, sexy going out fragrance. Very, very boisterous. It's got a lot of performance, a lot of oomph, character. Cold weather, bring this out. You will shine. Yeah. If you already haven't tried it, please try it. One of the best modern sort of celebratory fragrances, if you like. You want to go out, you want to show off, bring this out. Next on my list is a fragrance from a house I've not talked about, and I'll do a full review very soon. It's a house based out of France. It's called K. This house is very impressive, and this fragrance that I'm going to show you is absolutely stunning. It's called K Cri Du Kalahari. Yeah, and this basically the motivation behind this fragrance is the one tree. I can't remember the name of that tree, but I'll do a full review very soon. But this is around woods. My God, this fragrance is amazing. You know, I'm still testing it, but I've worn it twice, and each time I've been left completely floored. This is around sandalwood and cedar, a very green cedar, because they've used, I think, galbanum. And that galbanum, as you know, galbanum can be an astounding note. Think Chanel number 19. Green woods with very creamy sandalwood. This fragrance is absolutely top notch, you know. And, you know, I don't want to spoil the party. I'll do a full review very soon. But if you're looking for, if you like woody fragrances, and if you want something which is unique, just like Powdery, just like Fan Your Flames, just like these fragrances are very unique. Parfums de Merveille. If you want something unique, sexy, expensive smelling, try and sample K Cri Du Kalahari. Now, I'll do a full review anyways very soon, so I don't want to spend too much time, but yeah, what an amazing woody fragrance this is. Yeah, sandalwood, cedar, stunning. Next on my list is another tobacco fragrance, but most tobacco fragrances nowadays are sweet. This one isn't, and it's from a house which I really enjoy. The house is Jovoy, and the fragrance is Les Jeux Sont Faits. I've done a full review, and this one is dry fruits and angelica coupled with rum and tobacco. So boozy, green, airy, fresh. It's not angelica, I'm sorry, it's it is angelica. I'm trying to remember. It's got that fennel-like smell, green sharp fennel, yeah, with dry fruits and booze, heavy booze, completely laced in booze with tobacco. And the tobacco is dry. The fragrance is not very sweet. That's what I like about it. And also, it doesn't pair tobacco with vanilla. It may be in the note in the base, but I can't remember. But what I like about this fragrance is so unique. Nothing in my collection that I have smells like this fragrance. This is again a little somber. This fragrance is slightly reserved, but so well made that if you're wearing an expensive suit or a tweed jacket, evening scent mostly, you're going out, when you get to go out, try this one. Superb tobacco fragrance. You get your money's worth. You're wearing something expensive smelling, high quality. That's what you want when you wear a niche fragrance. So 5 left, 7 done. Next on my list, a leather fragrance, one of my absolute favorites. Done a full review. It's a house that I really respect. The house is Histoires De Parfums, and the name of the fragrance is 1740 Marquis de Sade. Now this fragrance is around spicy camphorous leather. So the notes that are instantly, recognizable are boozy, immortal. Now, if you don't like immortal, I like immortal. Boozy immortal, coupled with leather, some fruits, and huge amounts of booze. And smokiness. There's absolutely everything in this fragrance. This fragrance is a Hall of Fame fragrance. What I don't understand is, when I reviewed this fragrance about 4 years ago, that video didn't get many views. This fragrance is a leather. If you like leather, this fragrance is indispensable. It's one of those fragrances that is so beautifully made. I wear this every time. I love it. From start to finish. The dry down is as amazing as the opening. This fragrance is spectacular. As I said, it's a Hall of Fame fragrance. I'll do a leather fragrances list this winter, I promise you. And this fragrance will figure in that list. It's a stunning fragrance. If you like leather, if you like fruity booziness, try this. Okay, next on my list is an Amouage. Now this one is a fragrance that uses notes that are so uncommon, right? Fragrance notes are rosehip. Some people have guessed it. It's basically an animalic, musky floral. It is Amouage Gold. Try wearing this in summer. It'll knock you out, but you'll still like it. This fragrance has immense sex appeal. Immense. This is a hugely sexual, strong, masculine. It's got notes of rosehip, civet, musk, myrrh, jasmine, so indolic as well. Slightly old-fashioned, but this fragrance is just on a different planet. So if you like masculine florals with musky nature, this fragrance. I don't know whether you'll be able to wear this in any place you desire. It depends on how it sprays, because this has got ginormous, performance and projection. But if you like masculines from the 70s, like Kuros, for example, if that's the kind of your likes list, definitely go for this. And if you want to experience something really masculine with a lot of, power, this is a very powerful fragrance. Definitely go for Amouage. All Amouages are very difficult to wear, so you have to test it. But I tell you what, once you've tested it, there are a few of my friends, including Rohit, who absolutely love this fragrance. It's a different level. This fragrance is a different level. Next on my list is a Guerlain. And this fragrance basically resulted from a personal challenge. Thierry Vasser was visiting the Middle East, and the person from the Middle East apparently challenged him by saying, "You guys can't do oud." And this is an oud. Songe d'un bois d'et. Now, I'm not a Frenchman, I can't pronounce French. I'm hoping I'm doing this name a bit of justice, but this is an animalic barny oud paired with myrrh, paired with saffron. This is rich, floral, creamy, amazing oud. And I'm not a big fan of oud, but I absolutely love this fragrance. There's also a stunning note of bay leaf in this fragrance. So there's this sort of West Indian touch to it, if you like. This fragrance is absolutely amazing. I'll do a full review if I can this winter. I can't promise because I've got my list sorted out, but I'll try. This Guerlain is on a different level. If you're an oud lover and if you have a bit of spare cash, because now this is discontinued, it's very hard to get hold of. Try this fragrance. My God, this is amazing. Next on my list is another Guerlain. Now, wintertime, you want to wear something which sometimes gives you the relief from all these ouds and leathers and tobaccos and sweet and heavy scents. Next one is a masterpiece of a fragrance. I haven't done a full review yet. It is Derby. But I find Derby works fine in every weather. But this is a chypre. It's a leather chypre. But this has a character. That character is of a barbershop. And I sometimes really crave barbershop fragrances. That's when I bring out Derby. So if you're a barbershop fan, if you really fancy wearing a really well-made leather chypre which smells a little bit like a barbershop, go for Derby. Derby is stunning. So, and it's very versatile. You can wear this to office, you can wear this to your Sunday shop or whatever. It's amazing. Trust me. Guerlain Derby. Next on my list, this is the final fragrance, is an incense amber. It's a fragrance that I have a lot of time for. It is Akkad by Lubin. Now, not a lot of talk about this fragrance. But if you're a big fan of, my God, this is amazing. If you're a big fan of incense, you have to try this fragrance. This fragrance has notes of olibanum, LME, so it's a bit tangy, and incense as well, and then amber resin and labdanum. So it's very ambery, very smoky. And a lot of patchouli. This is one of my absolute favorites. So I rank this at the same level as Ombre Sultans and all the big ambers, Dior Mitza. I rank it at the same level. Oh, when you bring out this fragrance, man, it's an artistic brilliance. It's just collector's delight. If you're a collector, you need to have Akkad in your collection. So, 12 fragrances that I could think of as one of the finest niche fragrances for any sentiments, any emotions. So, hope you enjoy the video, and if you do give it a like. Take care. Bye-bye.